Welcome viewers. We'll analyze what happened at Donald Trump's Friday rally in North Carolina. Former President Donald Trump was less than 10 minutes before the rally to increase the number of candidates for North Carolina's Republican Party House. Instead of announcing the virtual price of Republican tickets during the midterm elections this year, the former president spoke twice and long-term on New York State's $250 million law on Wednesday. And after a 3-year civil investigation into the fraud of many companies and those associated with their actual activities and licenses by the racist New York State Attorney General, the left's chilling move to focus on political opponents is unfounded, abusive and vicious. Lawsuits against me, my family and my company. No clear example of obsession. Letitia Peekaboo, James, said Trump used a bizarre and yet unexplained nickname for the Empire State's top law enforcement officer. Trump then called the veteran attorney a crazed lunatic with no other intentions than to catch him and oversaw an investigation by a 3-year-old girl that uncovered evidence that systematically overwhelmed his agency. She said she didn't know anything about him, although she did it at his home to secure a loan and tax breaks. This is the prosecution's most serious crime, and it occurs in many special forms in Atlanta, whether in the Washington-Columbia Special Zone. It comes in many exclusive forms. An important prison is the end result of his attempt to commit a crime. Abide, who was taken to a rally hosted by former President Donald Trump in North Carolina, seems to imply that the crowd would stop the crowd from producing redemption with his fingers, and today that has become a serious criticism. Increasing complexity. Trump's supporters should be mindful, and at former President Wilmington's rally on Friday, he points his finger and raises his hand in the air. The video clip shared on Twitter shows a rally exhibition team crossing the crowd, gesturing to choir supporters and creating a greeting. When Trump says, and the backgrounds of a melodramatic melody are created. Salute debuted through a Trump group in Youngstown, Ohio, which was closed over the weekend. Some have warned that the salute is a nod to Trump supporters' Canaan's conspiracy theory motto, "Wherever you go, we go." Political commentator and former federal prosecutor Ron Filipkowski tweeted a video clip Friday, saying as the crowd raises their fingers again to show the Canaan sign at today's Trump rally, the defense stabs and forces them to dismantle it. Others suggest that the single index finger used in the salute is a reference to the America First movement that supports Trump. But the track, which was played during Trump's speech at a rally, appears to fit Canaan's unofficial theme song, lending credence to the conspiracy theory connection. Lisa Desherton's correspondent said on Twitter that she confirmed that Salute used to be a canon reference and that the group of workers called on the crowd to sing to encourage a supporter of Trump to get angry about violating his constitutional law to become. The comparisons between the Trump rally salute and the historic Nazi salute were also made last Friday. During the Texas game, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton compared Trump's rhetoric and fashion to the Nazi leader's marriage. The former president began working at Wilmington International Airport with Tita Babb, a Republican candidate in the United States. In the United States, the tournament announcer was covered at the door by a member of American Representative Ted Bid U.S. Representative David Luda. In the 7th Congressional District, NS Naka EU Governor Mark Robinson Bohines, a Republican candidate for North Carolina's 13th District. Congress Bud goes into the Senate with Democratic opponent Sherry Beasley to take the seat vacated by Senator Richard Burr. Hines is scheduled to run against Democratic Senator Wiley Nickel in November, but is running for the United States. The Senate is running against Democratic opponent Sherry Beasley, who is vying for the vacant seat through Senator Richard Burr. Hines is meeting with Democratic Senator Wiley Nickel in November. Trump spoke at the Wilmington Aviation Center after remarks about U.S. Senate nominees Ted Butt and Bohemians walking in North Carolina's 13th Congressional District. Another language system covered Lieutenant Governor, Representative David Lothar, Mark Robinson, and North Carolina Republican Party spokesman. Democratic Senate nominee Sherry Beasley and House nominee Wiley Nickel play key roles in deciding what celebrations will emerge from Congress. Trump spoke for over an hour and 20 minutes. He concluded with remarks about an instrumental song that competed with the music that sparked interest after the last rally in Ohio as it was reportedly being used as a precedent by Trump and the extremist dog movement. The performance ended at 9:15 p.m. About 50 minutes after his speech, Donald Trump called Senator candidate Ted Buck onto the stage. Bud said he and other North Carolina residents are happy to welcome Trump to the state and said he has already reached out for help. Bud turned to Trump and said Bud would never fall again, reminding him of the former president's support for him. Minutes earlier, Trump had joked that he would have to drop his support for the Republican Party if his sister-in-law Laura ran for president. Wilmington native Laura Trump was reportedly considering running for U.S. Senate last year before resigning. In many of his speeches, former President Donald Trump lamented the 2016 campaign, his operations and the investigation of two cases previously impeached by the House of Representatives. Trump has aggressively attacked New York State Attorney General Letitia James, calling her disgusting and racist countless times for investigating her business. He called it peekaboo. James' a lawsuit filed through his office this week accuses Trump and his children Donald Jr., Eric and Ivanka of misrepresenting billions of dollars. According to the New York Times, former President Donald Trump took the stage at a Save America rally about an hour after his speech, after being joined by Lee Greenwood in God Bless the USA, wearing a Make America Great Again hat for fans seated in the stands. Trump hesitated. He said he was glad to be back in North Carolina before opening his comments on the economic sector. Often paid runs and crimes without and other problems. House Speaker Tim Moore stunned Friday's rally. Moore, a Cleveland County Republican, has longed for Republicans to once again lead the House and Senate at a time when he and his colleagues were seeking a supermajority in Congress, he told the target audience. Democrats at the time denied that the pledge they signed had anything to do with lowering the cost of compliance. And this year, Democratic candidate Sherry Beasley said she would oppose the idea. Think about it. Let's say it's 3 o'clock this morning. Someone breaks into your house. You want to transport a social worker in a Prius or something? Moore said, laughing at the crowd. Democratic candidate Wiley Nickel, running against Bo Hines in the 13th district, accused Hines of spending the day at a rally in Wilmington. In a video posted to Twitter, Nickel claimed Hines knocked on doors and reached out to county voters while speaking at a Trump rally, and made it clear that she does not represent the interests of others. Supporters of the former president gather at the Aero Center just before the first audio system takes the stage for Friday's rally. At least he seems to have gathered 1,000 people. People behind and around the stage in the stands and various seating areas among famous songs featuring Elvis Presley and other artists. Big stage monitors played political ads about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and U.S. Senate candidate Ted Budd. What do you think of this matter? Please let us know in the comments.